Living in America and all the struggles that our country is facing right now is real. But young people still live in a place where they experience the best opportunities anywhere else in the world. So, what is going on? Managing our children's psyche has become an elementary tool for parents, teachers, and youth leaders. We become sociologists. We've become psychologists. No concern for a life vocation yet. No mortgage or vehicle or health insurance. No serious relationship to consider marriage or building a family or taking care of children. And yet research is showing that parents are increasingly aware of the toll that mental health is having on their children. One of the most concerning stories of the year came from a Barna study on parenting and teen mental health. Today's young people are carrying a heavy emotional burden. Listen to this. Among their top concerns for their teens, many feel unsure of how to help them. Many parents are like, what do we do? And they are especially uncertain about when to step in. When does my child need professional support or professional care? This is from Barna's Gen Z and mental health research done in 2025. It's not just the holiday blues. It has become the narrative of life. So what do we do about it? First, the role of parents to affect positive outcomes in the teenager's life is vital, especially as it comes to mental health and wellness. This Barna study also highlighted a hopeful reality. Listen, a warm, steady parent-child relationship is one of the strongest buffers against mental health struggles. So, what do parents do about the pressures of the culture surrounding our kids? Let me give you some really practical principles that will help, okay? Number one, check in with your child emotionally every week. Number two, create space for meaningful conversations at the dinner table 3 times a week. Powerful conversations at the table. Number 3, get to know the friend circle of your teens so that you have a second line of communication to your children. Number 4, understand that your teenager needs clear and consistent expectations. Number 5, set boundaries and schedules. Number 6, model and practice spirituality at home. And finally, number 7, create an atmosphere of grace. Create an atmosphere of grace in the home for every conversation. The families that we are being raised in are fatherless, motherless, siblingless, uncle-less, aunt-less, no grandparents in the home. Our young people are not being raised in a simple generation anymore. Family structure has become disintegrated. And the family structure that we once enjoyed 50 years ago is gone. The government redefined marriage and has placed legislation in our nation that is contrary to the biblical understanding of marriage in families. I get that. Legislation like strict work laws for parents to even receive benefits. Citizenship legislation like the SAVE Act. Educational costs. Educational aid. Redefining marriage, right, has incurred penalties that reduce aid to families. A government shutdown right now that impacts certain families' abilities to even pay child support. Today's households are navigating complexities we've never thought about before. Pastors and spiritual leaders, let me hit that as our second point and final point for this podcast. The role of pastors and spiritual leaders is critical. Faith is still one of the most important influences on a teenager's overall development. And spiritual leaders can play a pivotal role. Build family communication skills and foster ministries and departments that are intergenerational. Listen, I'm quoting, in 2025, There's been a major rebound of Bible reading with a surge in Bible usage amongst the younger generations. This is from David Kinnaman, the CEO of Barna. You've heard, we've seen this alignment of other spiritual interest. Alpha Gen coming up, 83% of Alpha Gen are interested in spirituality. That is unheard of. Now, just because it's spirituality doesn't mean it's Christianity, but there's the role that spiritual leaders play. And as Gen Z is moving toward the Bible and Alpha Gen moving toward church, do you realize that these two generations now are attending church more so even than their grandparents? This silent generation is at about a 1.3 times a month going to church, whereas our teenagers now are almost 2 times a month, 1.93. What we're seeing is this surge of spiritual revival and awakening. You've seen it on campuses. You've seen the hunger for the scriptures rise in this generation. And it's bringing a depth of the supernatural and practical wisdom that teenagers have needed to manage their emotions. Listen, at 50%, millennials jumped in an unprecedented way. 16 points, okay? Millennials jumped in their interest in spiritual things. But what we saw is Gen Z jumping 19 points in their hunger and passion for church attendance and discipleship programs. Another study said that young people, Gen Z, who are now attending church 2 times a month, almost 2 times a month, prefer to go to church than their social activities. We are now seeing a revival and an awakening that is increasing church attendance and involvement, because we know those two things are different, right? Attending church is one thing, being involved in church is another. The undeniably critical mission of the church today is to transform people's lives, who ultimately transform then culture. And all the things that are going on in our society right now, how do we start? Do we start in the marketplace? Do we start in the office? Do we maybe think that the school or the university is the place where revival is going to break out and that's where we transform people's lives? How about the media, the World Wide Web, or social media and that footprint and that platform? Certainly, the internet has the answers, right? Do we maybe think that the school or the university is the place where revival is going to break out and that's where we transform people's lives? What about church evangelism and small groups, outreach program? Maybe that's part of it, but I believe it begins with the family, because healthy parents build healthy families that build healthy children who build healthy societies. History has proven that family is the central system of health for every culture. There may not be a government, there may not be a school, there may not be a business or an internet connection in every corner of the world. But you want to know what there is? A family. There is a family in every corner of the world. So think about it. If we're going to reach young people today, all of these other ancillary things that we just talked about, that's not what we begin with. We begin with the family, because the family, they are training the next leaders in government, the next leaders in business, the next leaders in education, the next leaders in social media influencing. They're not just growing up as young adults. All of those people are being shaped and formed as children in our home. So what is a parent's greatest win? It is the development of our children. It is the faith development of our children. Their total health is one of the greatest things that one generation can pass on to the next. Their faith health is the greatest thing that one generation passes on to the next. A parent's greatest win. It is to build children into spiritual adults. Because these should be the greatest days of a teenager's life. God bless you. Have a great week.